Every single day, humanity takes over 5 billion photos. That's about 57,000 photos every second, and around 1.8 trillion photos a year. Think about that. In the time it takes to blink, tens of thousands of memories have already been frozen, stored, filtered, shared, and forgotten. But here's what most people don't realize. Our obsession with capturing images didn't start with smartphones or even film. It started with light itself. The story of the camera is really the story of how we learned to capture the fleeting, how we turn time, light, and memory into something permanent. And the journey from dark boxes to AI-powered lenses, it's filled with obsession, rivalry, and groundbreaking innovation. Let's rewind to where it all began, long before photography, before electricity, before anyone even imagined a camera. Centuries ago, philosophers in China and Greece noticed something strange. When sunlight passed through a tiny hole into a dark room, it projected an upside-down image of the outside world on the opposite wall. That phenomenon became known as the camera obscura, Latin for dark chamber. Artists used it to trace landscapes. Scientists used it to study optics. But the idea of actually capturing that image, freezing it forever, was impossible. For more than 2,000 years, the camera obscura was just a curiosity, a trick of light, until one man decided to challenge nature itself. In 1826, a French inventor named Joseph Nicephore Niepce set up a metal plate coated with chemicals and pointed it out his window. He waited and waited. After 8 long hours of exposure, the world's first photograph appeared, a grainy, ghostly image of rooftops and sunlight. That single photo changed everything. Niepce had done what humans had dreamed of for centuries. He had captured time. Soon after, Louis Daguerre improved the process with his daguerreotype camera in 1839. It could capture a detailed portrait in minutes instead of hours, and the public went wild. For the first time, anyone could see a true likeness of themselves. No artist's interpretation, just reality etched into metal. Photography was born, but it was slow, expensive, and dangerous. Early chemicals were toxic, and subjects had to sit perfectly still. Still, people were hooked. The world wanted more. For decades, photography remained a luxury, a craft for professionals and the wealthy. That all changed in 1888, when an American inventor named George Eastman released a product that would democratize photography forever, the Kodak camera. It was small, portable, and came preloaded with film for 100 shots. When you finished, you mailed the whole camera back to Kodak, and they'd send it back with your developed photos, plus a fresh roll of film. Their slogan was genius. You press the button, we do the rest. Suddenly, the world didn't just look at photos. It created them. Family portraits, birthdays, travel adventures. Photography became personal. The camera had gone from a scientific tool to a cultural force. But the rise of film photography was only the beginning. The next century would bring a battle between innovation and imagination. As photography spread, so did the race to make it better. The early 1900s introduced 35mm film, a compact, flexible format that revolutionized the industry. Cameras became lighter, faster, and more capable. German company Leica released the world's first compact 35mm camera in the 1920s, and photographers fell in love. War correspondents, artists, journalists, they could finally take their craft anywhere. By the mid-20th century, the SLR camera arrived, single-lens reflex. For the first time, photographers could see exactly what the lens saw. Framing a shot became precise, intuitive, a total game changer. Meanwhile, Polaroid introduced instant photography. Shake it, wait a few seconds, boom, your photo, right there in your hand. Fast, fun, magic. The world had fallen in love with photography, and innovation was about to explode. In 1975, inside a Kodak lab, engineer Steven Sasson built something the world had never seen: the first digital camera. It looked like a toaster with a lens, weighed nearly 9 pounds, but it worked. It captured black and white images at just 0.01 megapixels and stored them on a cassette tape. Each photo took 23 seconds to process. Kodak didn't didn't realize it then, but that clunky prototype had just predicted the future. By the late 1990s, digital cameras hit the consumer market. Canon, Nikon, Sony, every brand jumped in. Each year brought smaller, sharper, faster models. Film began to fade. No more chemicals, no more waiting, just instant results. Photos could now be stored, edited, and shared on computers. Photography and journalism changed overnight. For a brief moment, digital cameras ruled the world, until an unexpected challenger appeared. The early 2000s brought something new, the camera phone. At first, nobody took them seriously. The photos were blurry, pixelated, barely recognizable, but as mobile tech advanced, so did the cameras. And in 2007, the iPhone changed everything. For the first time, people carried a high-quality camera and an entire editing studio in their pocket. Photography wasn't just for special occasions anymore. It became part of everyday life. You could take a photo, edit it, and share it instantly. Social media platforms like Instagram and Snapchat turned photography into communication. The camera wasn't just a device anymore. It was a language. And as smartphones got smarter, something new happened behind the scenes. It wasn't just about lenses anymore. It was about algorithms. Modern phones don't just capture photos, they compute them. They take multiple shots in milliseconds, merge them, adjust lighting, sharpen faces, and enhance colors automatically. This is computational photography, and it's quietly redefining what a camera even is. When you take a photo today, AI instantly decides how bright the sky should be, what your skin tone looks like, even which frame makes you look your best. In other words, the camera doesn't just record reality anymore, it interprets it, and that's both amazing and unsettling. Because when software controls how we remember moments, we start to question what's real and what's enhanced. We've officially entered an era where cameras aren't just for photography, they're eyes for machines. Cameras guide self-driving cars, robots, and security systems. They power facial recognition, motion tracking, and augmented reality. Even your doorbell and smartwatch now see the world. In the past, cameras captured what you wanted to see. Now, they capture what machines need to see. That shift has massive implications for privacy, for data, and for how we define observation. The same technology that lets you take a perfect portrait also powers global surveillance networks. We've gone from say cheese to smile, you're being analyzed. So what's next? AI-generated imagery is already blurring the line between reality and imagination. We're entering a world where you don't even need to take a photo, you just describe it, and AI creates it. Meanwhile, companies are developing contact lenses with cameras, drone-mounted vision systems, and glasses that record everything you see. Soon, you may not even have to lift a finger. Your devices will document your life for you. But that raises an interesting question. If everything is being captured all the time, do photos still hold meaning? When Niepce took that first 8-hour photograph, he was capturing something rare, a once-in-a-lifetime moment, frozen in time. Today, we can take 1,000 photos before breakfast, but how many actually matter? Maybe the next evolution of the camera won't be about sharper images or smarter sensors. Maybe it'll be about rediscovering what it means to capture a moment at all. From the camera obscura to the smartphone, from glass plates to AI sensors, the camera has evolved faster than almost any technology in human history. It changed art, science, communication, memory itself. It turned moments into data, and data into emotion. But beneath all the innovation, one truth remains. The camera is, and always will be, an extension of us. Because no matter how advanced the technology becomes, it still starts with a simple desire to see the world and to remember it. So next time you open your camera app, take a second to appreciate what's really happening. You're not just taking a picture, you're participating in one of humanity's greatest inventions. And who knows, maybe the next photo you take will become a tiny piece of the next great evolution. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment with the first camera or phone you ever used. It's crazy how far we've come. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories about how everyday things evolved into what we use today.